friends, thanks so much for joining me today. Hope you all are having an awesome day. Welcome to Emalyce. Woohoo! Woohoo! Okay, that's annoying. Anyway, I am excited for this video because if you've been around a while, you may know that I like doing randomized makeup looks. I pull up a list, I do a random.org thing, and it chooses my makeup. Today, I'm going to do a random.org picking of a movie, a Christmas movie, that's going to inspire today's makeup. So if that sounds interesting to you, then stay tuned. By the way, if you are new here, my name is Em. Welcome, and you're watching Makeupry. Alrighty, so if you are new here, please be sure to click that subscribe button and come back and hang out again in the future. Be sure to give that little notification bell a little ring-a-ling-ding, a ring-a-ding-ding, there we go, so that you can come back and hang out again. In case you weren't aware, Emalyce is all about me giving away little gifts like I'm Santa or something. So in this video I do have a giveaway, and it might come up at a random time because this is a randomized kind of thing, because this video is about random makeup. So let's get into it. So I have this Google Doc or Google Sheet that has a list of pretty much all the Christmas movies that I could think of that I've seen or am familiar with. If it's a movie or film that I haven't seen or I'm not familiar with it like whatsoever, I didn't put it in here. I have 26 movies total on this list. So I'm going to go into random.org really quickly. I'm going to enter 1 through 26 and click generate. And what did I get? I got 26. Oh, that is Christmas with the Kranks. Have you seen it? Christmas with the Kranks. Came out in 2004. It's a slapstick comedy. So here's the description of it based off of Wikipedia. Finally alone for the holidays, Luther, Tim Allen, and Nora Krank, Jamie Lee Curtis, plan to eschew the Christmas traditions and take a cruise in the Caribbean instead. This didn't sit well with their Christmas-obsessed neighbors Vic, who's played by Dan Aykroyd, and Walt Scheel, Emmett Walsh, who are determined to win the annual Best Decorated Street competition, and the Kranks soon find themselves social outcasts because of their lack of Christmas spirit. Okay, so quick synopsis of the movie is that the Kranks' only child, their daughter, goes off to school or something, and she was not going to be home for the holidays, so you know, they're like, Christmas isn't going to be the same, and then they decide, you know what, let's just cancel Christmas, let's skip it, let's go on holiday, let's not do all the festivities, because on their street it's like a huge thing for them to partake in, like lighting up their house, and they have this tradition of having this big giant snowman up. And it's just a thing. As the month goes on and they're not putting out their decorations, they're very anti-Christmas, and they're very, well, at least Tim Allen's character is very anti-Christmas by like throwing the Christmas tree out, and it's just kind of, you know, slapstick humor kind of stuff. And then they get a phone call. Hey Mom, hey Dad, I decided I'm coming home for the holidays. So they are in a mad rush to try to get everything done for Christmas to make it just like it used to be, and it's quite a funny movie. Anyway, there is one particular sequence in the film where Tim Allen's character gets Botox and his face is super tan, you know, his face is stretched out. Honestly, that's not a real depiction of Botox. If someone makes your face look like that, they should lose their license to practice. If you do Botox right, it's a minimal effect. Obviously, he's doing a caricature and kind of satire of those who get Botox, and I don't care if people get it, but I think I want to base my makeup look kind of off of that. I'm not going to make myself look like that, but I think I'm going to go with a very tan kind of looking face. I think I'm going to exaggerate an arch on my brows to make them kind of come up a little bit. I'm going to look so much like my dad, which is not a bad thing, but my dad had pretty pointed arches. I think for eyeshadow, I think I'm just going to do a colorful liner and call it good. I know it's a basic look, but it is inspired by the Kranks, and they said cancel Christmas, but then there's that Botox look, which is really funny. So that's what I'm going to do. So let's get to it. Oh, by the way, I'm wearing my Star Wars shirt. You can't really tell, but there's the little logo. Because I am going to go out, I'm not going to go heavy on foundation or anything like that. I am going to use some concealer in a bit. I've pulled out a lot of things that I haven't really been using, or things that are new to me that I haven't used yet. So a lot of these products I actually have not used on video before, so I'm not exactly sure how some of these are going to fare, but we're just going to make it work. The first product I'm going to use is this Buxom Divine Goddess Luminizer. Basically, it's like an illuminating highlighter, but I like to use this as a base. So I'm going to start by applying it to like the high points of my face, because it's very shiny, as you can you can see, you can definitely see. But I think this will be a great base to start with for that kind of super tan, Botoxy look that Tim Allen takes on, but in a more natural, you know, healthy kind of way. You can apply this over the top of foundation as well, but as I said, I'm not going to wear foundation today, so I figure might as well start early on the luminizer. And I just realized I forgot to put on a moisturizer. Another way you can make your face a little bit more illuminated without adding all the shine on is to mix your luminizer with your moisturizer. And it adds a subtle sheen without all that excess glittery shine, you know. And for the occasion, I've got my coconut water with lime and strawberry mango. I know it's a weird combination, but I took a sparkling water and mixed it in with lime coconut water, and it's actually really refreshing. If you haven't tried that before, I recommend it. Right, next I'm going to work on these brows. So I'm going to really exaggerate my arch today. What I'm going to do is just kind of pull it up and then bring it down at a sharp angle. So there we go. I tend to do kind of an exaggerated arch anyway, but today I'm going to really emphasize that by not building too much on this bottom and just letting most of the shape come from that arch. I'm going to even bring this tail down just a little bit as well. I think it just kind of really emphasizes that structure and shape, so it's kind of different. And I'm also going to brush my brow hairs up a little bit. There we go. Okay, they're very arched. They're a little bit more arched than I normally do. And they're not quite perfect, but you know what? Neither was their vacation. Their vacation and their Christmas was not perfect, so we'll just go with that. For the eyes, I'm going to go kind of simple, but I also want to add just a little bit of flair as well. I'm going to do my primer. Primer's on. I'm going to go really light on the eyes themselves. I'm going to use this little palette. This is an Ulta Beauty brand, and it's a, you know, basic B kind of palette, you know. This color screams out to me. It says, but first coffee. Yes. I definitely could use some coffee right now. I haven't had any today, but that's okay. I'm going to go get some in a little bit. So a lot of this Ulta stuff was a gift with purchase, which I think was kind of cool. This is also an Ulta brush. I'm just pushing a little bit of that but first coffee into the crease. I just want a little bit of depth here. Not that it matters because I have deep set eyes anyway. But I like the brown. I think it warms up the eyes, which actually will go well with what I'm doing with the rest of the face here in a bit. And let this build up. I have to say, Ulta did a really fun kind of look with these brushes, with having the sparkly glitter, the suspended glitter in the acrylic. I love it. I'm living for it. I am not mad at this eyeshadow either. I have a couple of like single eyeshadows from Ulta, and I haven't really given a lot of attention to them, and I think it's worth checking them out just based on how this is performing. I'm going to take a fluffy brush, a larger fluffy brush that's wider ended, and just kind of soften this, just kind of blend it everywhere. Even if it gets on the eyelid, I don't care. As long as it's soft and hazy, that's all that matters. I'm going to take a little bit of this one here. This one's called Meet Me Downtown. Ooh, that sounds fun. I'm going to apply a little bit of that to the inner corner. Brighten that up a little bit. It's a matte shade, but it still has that brightening effect here. I'm also going to apply it to that brow bone arch to really highlight and emphasize it. Now some people really like taking concealer and just making their eyebrows really defined. I am not that kind of gal. It's not me, but today it looks kind of cool. I kind of like how it looks to really just define that arch a little bit more. Alright, for lid color, do I want a lid color? Yeah, let's go with a little bit. I think I want to go with this middle one. That one is called Wanderlust. It's a nice champagne color. Yeah, that'll do perfectly. I just want enough to say, hey, I'm here. I like that. It's very simple, it's very soft, it's effective, right? I'm going to do a little bit of black liquid liner, because that's just, I have to. I'm going to do a little flick off the edge of the eye here. I'm surprised I'm doing this well with my liner today, because I just had a dysautonomic episode a little while ago, so my hand is still a little shaky. It's like, it's annoying. There we go. Alright, now comes the really fun part. I'm going to take this bright neon green. It's like the perfect lime green. But I'm going to see if this will work over the top of that black. Yeah, it's working. And I'm using the black liquid line as a base. And usually people like to use white, but I like to use black because I like that it still creates some depth there. Because I need a little bit of depth around my eyes. See how fun that is? It's just a lot of fun. I'm going to go back over with the black here in a minute because I do feel as though I lost a little bit of that definition on my eye and I still want that. I'm going to go back with that black. I'm just going to line underneath it a little bit, bringing that black line a little bit closer to the lash line, but the green is still there. I really like how that's looking. It's kind of fun. It's kind of different. It's also very summery, which kind of fits what they were going for originally in the movie with them wanting to go on a cruise. See, as parents, if that were me and I had a kid who was like, I'm not coming home for the holidays, and they're like, just kidding, after we already made plans to go somewhere, I'd be like, sorry, sweetie, you said you weren't coming home, so we made other plans. But if you want to join us, maybe you can scrape together enough money to join the cruise if it's not all sold out yet. You know? That's kind of how I would approach it. It's like, let's do something new. Let's do Christmas in the tropics. That's just me. Is anyone else like that? Because I'm like, if I have a vacation planned and someone's trying to ruin it, I'm like, screw you. No. I usually don't curl my lashes, but I have to with this mascara. I'm trying to go through and use this mascara up as just so I'm not wasting it. It used to be one of my favorites, but I don't know, with this particular wand or something with this mascara I'm just not jiving with anymore, and it's the Maybelline Falsies one. I'm going to go in with the cream concealer today. I haven't used this in a while. I need to use this up because this was kind of expensive. It's the Makeup Forever Camouflage Cream Palette. This one is number 1 or no, it's palette number 5. Oh shoot, I forgot my face primer. Just kidding. So let's do this first. I already have a little bit of cream on my face, but I'll just blend in right with that prime. Actually, whoa. I kind of like how that looks together. It already canceled out some of those dark circles. That's pretty amazing. I've been really liking this Dr. Brandt Luminizer Primer. I don't know that it really luminizes, but I feel like it has kind of a medicated feel to it, which kind of sounds a little scary, but for me it's not, because I have really sensitive skin under the eyes. Yeah, that's doing the trick. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of the e.l.f. Hydra Veil Concealer to brighten this up just a tad bit more, because it didn't quite have the effect that I was hoping it would. I noticed that it turned a little gray because my mascara had flaked into it, because I stood back and I'm like, wait a second, this doesn't look right. I look a little gray, and I realized there was a little bit of a flake of mascara underneath it. I'm like, oh, that'll do it. Oops. I'm going to set it with a Ciate. Is this Ciate? Yeah, this is their Extraordinary Translucent Powder. I'm going to use a really fluffy brush to set this. I haven't used this in a while. Oh, yep. This mascara's flaking. And I'm setting this mainly because I'll be wearing a mask in a little bit, and I want as little of this concealer to transfer as possible. You know what? I'm going to add a little bit of something something to my eyes. I'm going to apply a little bit of glitter liner. Now I'm going to be careful with this because last time I used it, I got some glitter in my eye and I had an irritated eye for the most part. I'm going to apply it just above the green. so it doesn't cover it up completely. So it just adds a little something something. This one is the NYX Glitter Goals. I've been using NYX's glitter liners for years and I really like them. You do have to dip into it a couple of times though to get enough of the product out. It's just kind of fun. It's like a little flickering of light. Okay, this is gonna drive me nuts. If my mascara is gonna flake, I'm just gonna put another mascara over the top to kind of seal it in. Kind of mold it to my lashes because I don't want a flaky mess all over my cheeks. Now for the face. This is gonna be fun. I have this Trestique bronzing, what is this called? Color Contour Cheek Stick in Brazilian Bronze from Trestique. Alright, let's do a little bit here. A little bit here. A little bit there. A little bit here. I know I'm going to be wearing a mask, so this part's not going to matter as much, but it will to me. And I'm actually going to bring this up onto the cheekbone a little bit to create a little bit more shadow there. So this comes with its own little brush underneath, so I'm going to see how this little brush fares in blending it out. I might have used too much product for this poor little brush to really do much with it, because that's really a little too much color. But then again, we are going for that kind of Botoxy look that he has in the film. Okay, I'm not a big fan of that brush. It's taken too long. I'll use this one instead. It'll be a little bit softer too. Now I did apply it a little bit into the hairline because I want this to look a little bit more natural. And I can apply it into this widow's peak a little bit because yes, I have one. It just hides really well under baby hair. So very tanned, but I'm not done yet. I'm going to take a bronzer powder so I can get it out. This one's an old one, no longer available, but I really like it. Don't come for me, haters. Apply it over the top. Really work that in. Is the fact that I'm Native American coming out at all? Because now that my skin looks a little bit deeper, I see my Native American features coming out a little bit more, like my cheekbones, my eye shape. My mom was a lot darker than me, but there are points when I was younger where I was actually really dark, and I was darker than my mom. I feel very ready for summer, and it wouldn't be complete without some highlighter. I mentioned in my highlighter video that there are some that I haven't used at all, and they're really expensive, and this is one of them, and it's an Estee Lauder brand. So guess what? I'm finally pulling it out because I want to use it. What? I haven't used this before? Oh, that's gorgeous. I like that it's not super metallic too. I go back over the top just a little bit here in that forehead. Oh, when I go into that bookstore, probably gonna look at me like, girl, what do you need all that makeup on for? I can't see most of it. You don't need makeup when you go and you're wearing a mask. But little do they know, makeup is always a must. At least for me. Well, not always. But for the sake of being on camera, I'm going to do this part too. For lips, I'm going to use, oh, guess what? It's Estee Lauder. This one is called Radical Chic. It's a very pretty pink. Okay, it's a very bright pink. It was supposed to be a little bit more subdued than that, but whatever. Makeup inspired by Christmas with the Kranks. It's not perfect, but neither were they. And it's not quite Christmassy. The only Christmassy thing that it's got going for it is the lime green with gold, but even then it's a little tropical, and I think that kind of fits the whole idea of where they were planning to go, I think. Yeah, I'm digging it. It's fun. It's a little extra. Okay, so I'm really liking how this looks. I'll probably get a couple double takes when I go to the bookstore, and I'm gonna take the lipstick off and I'm gonna wipe off a little bit of my face before I head out because I don't want this to get all over my mask. But oh, here's to the holidays. Speaking of the holidays and me going Christmas shopping, I have a little Christmas gift. I'm excited to announce what you're gonna win in this video. It is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam Palette. So one of you lucky winners will win this. How do you win, you might be asking? Well, what you're gonna have to do is make sure you're subscribed. Leave a comment below letting me know what your favorite Christmas movie is. I think that would be really fun to hear about. If I had to decide my favorite Christmas movie, it's a toss-up between Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the original one from the 60s. Oh, I love it so much. I finally found it on DVD and I was like, yes, my life's complete. It's a toss-up between that one and White Christmas. Like, I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know. The original Bing Crosby version of that song, that is one of my favorite Christmas songs. Oops, I spilled. I shouldn't have told you. That was a hint for another video coming up. Anyway, be sure to leave that comment below letting me know what your favorite Christmas movie is to potentially win. Be sure to subscribe, go check out the other videos. This is exciting. I love giving away presents. That's my favorite thing about the holidays, is to give to other people, and I'm excited and so grateful that I have the opportunity to give back to my awesome subscribers and to anyone here who's just supportive. I appreciate you. I love you all, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay happy, stay healthy. Please wear your mask and wash your hands. Stay home if you can, and stay electric. Stay bold and electric. Yeah. I'll see you next time. Mwah. Bye. Christmas tree. Honestly, it's never been much of